Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rad World, where in the last episode, I built these two farms right behind me. A cactus farm, and then a second layer to my melon and pumpkin farm. I say this is a cactus farm, but in reality, it's a bone meal farm that's not very good at producing bone meal, so I really don't know what it is. Its efficiency is questionable, even with 4 layers that I have stacked on top of it. It's just not enough. I need more, which I'm probably gonna have to gather by making a farm from a skeleton spawner. But I don't know where one's at, so that'll be a later problem for me. And now with the second melon and pumpkin farm created, I can get even more rich. This doesn't look like a lot, but I had to expand this storage a lot because this chest filled up way too fast. So I think this was maybe only over 10-15 minutes of actual AFKing because I had to wait for all these seeds to grow first. But yeah, more money for me. But enough about the plans from last episode. I want to get into what we're going to be doing for this episode. I want to create an interior for this building. I've already basically planned it out, not in a creative world or anything, but I've just basically developed the perfect idea that I want to have in here. With that, I want to finally get nailed down what the detail and wall pattern for this hall here is going to be at the end here. If you watched my previous episode, I had a very hard time making this hall. I didn't know what to put at the end here, and getting it correctly formatted and all detailed was an absolute pain. I don't know why. I've had this idea for a long time and I thought it worked fine, but I guess you just never know. And then for the main part of this episode, I want to create a map room within this space. Now, I don't have any specific dimensions for it or really any straightforward plan, but I have an idea of what I want it to be like. I'm basically just going to wing this one and hope it works out. But first, I want to start off with this hall. I'm thinking that to fix this lack of detail down here, I use either stairs, slabs, whatever to give it more depth, just so that it stands out a bit more. I don't know if I like that. Man, this could be hard to do. Maybe? I just don't like how this side of the block sticks out. I'd also have to put it here, but I don't think I can really do that. Yeah. No, that just doesn't fit at all. See, the only issue about this hall is the fact that if I do something down here, I kind of have to do it up here to make sure it matches the entire aesthetics of it. I can't just do that down there and then not have it up here. It looks a little weird. So maybe I'm thinking that we just keep it plain. Now looking at it, I think the flat wall just looks the best. But when it comes to like one of these halls that are a bit more straight and narrow, I can probably add more details like these on the walls without having to worry about putting the sort of details I put down there up here, even though they don't fit. So I think this will work just fine for now, but as I expand the dwarvish hall, I'm going to need to put more details on these walls. And now that we are done with designing the dwarvish hall, I say we move on to decorating the interior of this building right here, the mining shack. That really, now thinking about it, doesn't really make sense to have a pathway that leads from this down to the dwarvish hall, because this isn't connected to the dwarvish hall at all. See, my original plan was to have this as a mining house, right, which it already is, but to have the mine down here be a bit more human-esque, kind of like your standard mine that uses wood braces and all that stuff. Not this hall of carved stone kind of stuff. Now, like I said, I already have thought of an idea of what I'm going to put in here. In this room, I'm going to have all the furnaces, smokers, and blast furnace. This is going to be the smelting room here. And then this will be a basic storage system with maybe some additional detail thrown throughout here. And then up here, they will be analyzing a block of amethyst. I'm also thinking of using these pots too. And that's the interior done. I would just like to point out, I didn't know you can do this with lanterns and pots. This is so cool. I not only did it once, but twice. I'm so glad I found that out. But yeah, this is the interior. It's not as decorated as I want it to be, but this is also a very small space I have to work with, especially in here. This is tiny. A 3x4? That's nothing. Nothing to work with. So I gave it my best shot, and it turned out all right in my opinion. And now with finishing that, I realize I don't think there's going to be enough content for this episode. So, as an added bonus, for the last part of this episode, after I build the map room, I will mark out the barrier for where I want the dockyard to begin. I know I said I would do it like 2-3 episodes ago, but this time I'm actually going to do it. Now it's time we move on to the dwarvish map room. I have figured out the dimensions I want to take. I want it to be a 12x12 square, and the center have a 4x4 map. That's where the map's going to go, and a 4x4 center. Glass will be over top of it. I'll of course have to update the map every so often because, as I know of, maps in Minecraft don't get updated unless you pick them up again. But they could have changed that. I'm not too sure. I got a feeling that this time it's going to be a lot easier to decorate than this hall was. I mean, it's a 12x12 square. Those are pretty easy to decorate. And I think I might try some new things. The only thing that I wish I had were blocks of raw gold. Those would fit in perfectly with the dwarvish aesthetic. Actually, you know what? I might as well just go get some. It's not like they're that hard to get. I already have all of the materials right here. I'm not going to use all of these. Oh, forgot you can't open those. I'm not going to use all of these materials as I just don't think I will. This is a lot for a little space. The only thing I might use more of is waxed oxidized copper, but I just have these copper blocks here that I can age. But enough talking. Let's get into this build. It's done, and man, do I like this place. I really gave this my all. I already had quite the idea though picked out for this, so it wasn't too hard, but I still think that this is a great room. Perhaps even my most favorite room I've ever built. I just really like it. I already put a lot of detail into this. Putting blocks in certain places where there wouldn't be much detail, like up here, that's not very noticeable, but it adds a slight kind of difference from this pillar here to the roof. And I'm just really, really proud of all this. Although my favorite part definitely has to be the flowing lava. This just looks really cool. Now, as for these copper trap doors, these ones here, as well as these ones and these ones over here, are all going to get oxidized. The only ones that are staying their standard copper color are these ones right here. Because I think that this design in particular looks really cool. I really made sure that I added depth to all the areas and the map room, and the map itself has come together incredibly well. It's everything I wanted it to be, unlike something else. However, building this has given me an idea for the dwarvish hall. And with that being the lava flowing, I think it would be cool to add lava behind these pieces here. This might actually solve my lack of detail and actually add some more color to this. Because now looking at it, it's just 3 shades. That's all it is. Gray, cyan, and black. That's it. So adding a little hint of orange behind these might just be what I'm looking for. And while I was building this, it went ahead and was a little bit taller than I thought it was going to be. So it kind of like encroached into this area right here. So I had to basically increase the height of this entire area here to make sure the place fit. As you can see right down here is where the lava's at. Right there. I mean, that is 1 block from the surface. Luckily though, the pathway still flows very nice. I might add a slab there, but other than that, it looks alright actually. Oh yeah, I've also got to bone meal the rest of this because I broke all the grass. Now, unfortunately, I am a little pressed for time, so I won't be able to mark out the naval dockyard in this episode. I know, pushing it off to another episode. Things happen. Yesterday, on June 2nd, the entire Microsoft sign-in services just went down, so I couldn't log into Minecraft and get any recording finished out. Which was unfortunate, but I edited it a little bit, so I guess it's not all bad. But don't you worry, that will be done in the next episode. I'm gonna be sure of it. Enough procrastination. I must do it. On top of marking out the naval dockyard, I think I'll get a little bit of the factory marked out. Now, the only reason why I say a little bit is because this isn't all the farms that are going to be in the factory. So pre-planning the layout would kind of screw me over down the line in case I wanted to add different farms. On top of getting the naval dockyard and factory marked out, I think I need to add some more foliage in this area, particularly on this side of the mountain. Now what I realized is there aren't any trees here. So I'm thinking of adding a tree here and a tree over here. This will fill out the area a little bit more so that this side doesn't look so barren compared to this side. I might even add some smaller things over here, maybe a tree here or so, or some small shrubbery sort of things around, just to fill out these empty spaces a little bit more. But with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!